This is the virtual classroom library that I made for my students. I keep it in my Google Classroom under its own topic so that my students can access it whenever they'd like. I added my Bitmoji, some directions, and my Epic class code to the first page so students can refer back to all of this. I linked a bunch of grade level Epic books to the slides by pasting a picture of the book and inserting a link connected with the picture. So students can simply click on the picture and then it'll send them straight to Epic and they can read the book. If they haven't logged into Epic yet, they will have to do that before reading, but once they have, it usually just opens straight up to the book. So I separated the books by genre. So this is fiction chapter books. We have nonfiction books, audio books, which are great for students who might struggle with the actual reading or who might have a hard time focusing while reading a book. Here's some books about fractions because third grade is learning all about fractions and math right now. There's some books to help with mindfulness. These are some Make It books. So there's books about like arts and crafts, DIY books, cookbooks. I found a few books on science experiments and science ideas. Some comic books. I have a lot of students who love comics and superheroes, so I tried to add that. These are story online read alouds, which my class loves listening to, so I tried to find some that we hadn't listened to yet. I added the links to more online reading sites like Pebble Go, Scholastic News. I signed my kids up with my Google account, but you can get a class code as well. Wondropolis is great. There's a lot of cool sites here. And then I added some literacy skills practice sites. Again, they just have to click on the picture. It'll send them right there. This slide is like a cool down corner with some mindfulness activities, some calming music, so they can use this whenever they want. One of my colleagues had made this virtual classroom for her students with links to Go Noodle, the mood meter that we use all the time, some relaxing music if you click on this iPhone, and principal coloring pages. So I just kind of changed my Bitmoji and they can click on whatever they need. And then I ended the slideshow with some pages of recommendations for students to write about a book that they read, that they loved, and why they loved it. I tried to include at least one or two books in the whole slideshow that I knew each student in my class would want to read, because the goal of this is to get them reading more. And I think that this book recommendation page will help with that as well. I will continue to add books throughout the year, and even into the summer. I want to keep this up over the summer for my students to refer back to. Hopefully, we can continue to add books. So yeah, that's my library. And I added a couple pages of this so they could keep adding recommendations.